Hello, I'm Jenna or Jenna Cat, and today I'm going to be walking you through the process I took in which I created this awesome futuristic prop door for a student film project. At the time of making this door, I was not currently a student, but I volunteered my time to make this door for students at a school that I work at for their film project. Someone else came up with the design and I was the one to execute it. I got my trusty foam boards from Home Depot and started carving out the details that would outline the edges of the door. I took a lot of measuring and a lot of cutting to make sure each piece was cut correctly. Here I'm using the Proxxon hot wire cutting table, and I love this thing. This thing has helped me out through so many projects. I would highly recommend it to anyone else that cuts foam. Now I'm laying out all the pieces on the base of the door and gluing them down. I used a foam glue called Foam Fusion from the Hot Wire factory. Then I put some heavy objects on the planks to hold them in place and help the glue really adhere. Now it's been about 48 hours and I'm at it again. I had to rewire my cutting board. Now I'm kind of carving out some details in like a foam board, which I wouldn't recommend using a hot wire tool on foam boards because it kind of catches fire, but you know, that's a small detail that we won't worry about. Now that I've got all my details in place, I'm gonna start gluing those down and cutting holes for some lights to shine through. I'm gonna put some LED lights behind these holes so that it would look super cool and futuristic. And there are my cats investigating my project, as they always do. Now I'm cutting out some more holes that some lights will shine through, and I'm going to put frames that have like a caution symbol or radioactive symbol. I can't remember which symbol I used, but that's what the frames are for, and they're gonna light up red behind it. So I used Dollar Tree shot glasses and Dollar Tree just like water cups to act like the bulbs of the lights that's gonna shine through, which I thought was pretty creative. You know, you don't have to spend a lot of money to make cool things. You just have to think outside the box a little and find cheap things that could serve a different purpose than what it was originally intended for. Then I used a mold to recreate a bolt and hot glue to make copies of that bolt that I will use as more detail on this door. Some of the other things I have attached to this door I got from the electronics recycling bin at my work. Like, I think that those are two like old projector bulbs or overhead projector bulbs, I'm not sure, but they were definitely garbage and I used them for this project. Carving out a little indent for these frames that I also got at Dollar Tree. And there's the hot glue bolts that I'm using to sort of make the seams look intentional on this door. Okay, and here's the door before the paint. Got all the pieces glued down. I even used an old iPhone as like a Futuristic scan reader. So, you know, like I literally went through garbage to get some of these supplies. So this is what the door is looking like without any paint. It does not look super great. And there's one of the cups that I was referencing earlier. There's a shot glass there. Right now it looks weird. It doesn't look cohesive at all, but just wait until we get some paint on there to really bring it all together. Now I'm adhering these things in place so that they don't fall out when we lift the door up. And now it's time to mix some paint for my paint sprayer. Not gonna lie, the paint mess I made in my garage doing this is still there to this day, and this project was about 2 years ago now. And I got paint all over my feet. I am not a clean crafter. I am very messy when I craft. Now I can work outside because it wasn't raining this day. So I started with a black base paint and used like a metallic gray on top to give it this like metal texture. I used these stencils to create my warning signs. Stencils are like surprisingly hard to paint. Then we got these vinyl stickers that I put on the glass of the frames. Touching up the warning sign here. Now I'm cutting out these translucent sheets to put on top of those cups, so when the lights shine behind it, it's a little like clouded and gives it a different texture. The whole premise of this door is that it's containing a super strong like demon girl entity, and so that's why all these warning symbols are on it. That's why it has to look futuristic and like kind of sci-fi-y, because the movie doesn't take place in the real world. Now, this is my biggest regret. I used this gluing agent for those frames there, and it leaked down to my driveway, and the door hardened to my driveway, and I had to pry the door up from my driveway after it had dried, and I was afraid I was gonna break the door, but thankfully nothing broke, but there is still this hardening agent stuck to my driveway. Again, I am not clean. I am not a clean crafter. Now I'm adding in my lights, covering it with some construction paper, going through and adding some last painting details.
Tells me to stop, but there is nothing I can do. When I'm with you, I lose myself. I feel good. Oh, yeah.
And some brown paint that I'm gonna coat with cinnamon to mimic rust. Because this is actually kind of an old door, and it's how the demon girl is able to eventually escape. Slow motion of me blowing that cinnamon out, and then here's the final product of it laying on my garage floor. But this is it. I was super excited and super happy with how it turned out. I love the lights behind it. That is just like the magic touch, is those lights. The lights really sell the look of the door and make it just so cool and unique. Those are the hot glue bolts that I made. Those are the cups with the translucent wrap on top, and as you can see, it makes the lights look like really cool. And that's a piece of garbage from electronics recycling. There's that old iPhone. Oh, and these here are upholstery what are they called? Upholstery pins, I guess. Those, I love those. Those actually really, I love how they look on this. They look really cool. They kind of tie it all together. And yes, this has been the last 10 days of my life putting this dealy bob together, and it'll be on screen for like a minute before it is destroyed. So yay, art direction. Here we are driving with the door sticking like 2-3 feet out, maybe 2 feet out the back of my mom's car, and I'm holding it with my hand. Now this is a behind the scenes look of the door being used in the film. I don't have access to the actual film, so unfortunately I won't be able to show you what it looked like in the final product, but this is what it looks like behind the scenes.
On fire!
That's okay. And then, my worst nightmare, I had to destroy the door. I had to cut it open so that the demon girl could break through, and it was so sad to have to do this, but that was the whole point of making this door, was that it then had to be breakable. I actually got the honors of breaking it myself, which was in a way satisfying and very poetic. I destroyed what I created. And there it is. There's my cool door that I made. Here's some pictures of the final product. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like, and I'll see y'all on the next one.